There's a huge technical display there, everything to do with the latest technologies and research in the sheep industry. So everything from grassland and forages. So we have lots of grassland demos and alternative forages demos, multi-species, various different forage crops. Big focus as well on breeding, everything to do with genetics and breeding, all of the research work that's been done in Athenry over a number of years. Plus a big feature as well from our partner Sheep Ireland, so they're very much involved as well, and they have everything to do with the indexes, with the RAMs that they use in the CPT program, and also the new OviFlock EIP that's just being launched as well.
Hello, I'm Kieran Lynch and welcome to OviCast, the Teagasc Sheep podcast. Each episode will bring you latest insights, advice and technical updates for the sheep industry. Now, Sheep 2025, the largest sheep dedicated open day on the island of Ireland, takes place on Saturday 21st June from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Teagasc Mellows Campus in Athenry, County Galway. In this episode, Teagasc Michael Gottstein and Margaret previewed this free event for us. Michael starts off by acknowledging the various contributions from the industry partners and sponsors who helped make the event possible. He also walks us through the extensive range of technical information that will be available on the day. Michael highlights the breed competitions and shares some of the other key attractions attendees can look forward to. Margaret provides insights into the trade stands that will be present and highlights some of the additional features of today, from butchery and cooking demonstrations to sheep shearing and dog training demos. So for a full preview of what's on in Sheep 2025, listening to the episode is a must attend for everybody involved in sheep farming. And we're going to hear first now from Michael.
We're back here in Teagasc Athenry for Sheep 2025. So 2 years ago we were in Gottstein, Egg College, people might remember that. So it's the same series of events run by the same group of organisations. So it's Teagasc, the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine, Board Bia, Sheep Ireland and the Farmers Journal. So they're the 5 industry partners that are running this Sheep 20 series of events. This will be the biggest sheep open day anywhere on the island of Ireland. A whole day dedicated to everything to do with the sheep industry. It's on Saturday, the 21st of June, so that's next Saturday. Weather looks to be good, and luckily the weather was good in the run-up to it as well, so most people should have their silage made and hopefully they'll be able to take a day off and come and see everything to do with sheep, all the latest technologies, and some fun stuff as well, so it's not just all business, but it's a great day out for anyone with any interest in the sheep industry, whether you're a farmer or just have a general interest in the sheep industry. It's a family day out, Kieran, so it's a day that you bring the family with you, come and spend the day in Athenry.
And look, we'll break it down in a minute. Look, Michael, I suppose it's a free event and that wouldn't just happen either.
Yeah, so it's the event is free of charge, so everything in the event, I suppose, apart from your food, if you're buying food, is free. There's no charge for any entry or anything inside once you come in the door, with the exception of the catering. And that event, that's possible because we have 5 organisations that are all putting money into it, but we also have some very generous sponsors. Our main sponsor is Irish Country Meats, and they have been sponsoring it now for a number of events, so that we're very grateful to them. And then we have major sponsors as well, which are FBD Insurance, Elanco, and MSD. So we're really grateful to them. And I suppose that what makes the event run is the effort and the money that everybody puts in, including the sponsors, and also a little bit of money from some of the trade stands as well.
And look, it really is an across-industry event. Michael, one thing that's been common at all these events, and because it's based in Teagasc Athenry, I'm sure it'll be a main feature again, it's a very strong technical focus. Maybe could you just briefly take me through some of the key technical areas that's going to be covered on the day?
There's a huge technical display there. Everything, to do with the latest technologies and research in the sheep industry. So everything from grassland and forages. So we have lots of grassland demos and alternative forages demos, multi-species, various different forage crops. We have the same on the organic side. So we have some organic plots, including some combi crops, so cereals and legumes. And we've plots sown for people to see all that. Big focus as well on breeding. So everything to do with genetics and breeding, all of the research work that's been done in Athenry over a number of years. plus a big feature as well from our partner Sheep Ireland. So they're very much involved as well, and they have lots of stuff on there, everything to do with the indexes, with the RAMs that they use in the CPT program, and also the new OviFlock EIP that's just being launched as well. On flock health is a huge issue on sheep farms. I suppose we're constantly looking after sheep, keeping them healthy, keeping them thriving. So we've a whole village dedicated to that. So everything from internal parasite control, so your stomach worms, your liver flukes, those type of things. External parasites, so we have a dipping demo, pour-on demos, lameness, big focus on lameness. So Jake Delaney, who's doing his PhD on that in Athenry and has been going out and surveying farms and looking at lameness on farms over the last number of years. He's got a big workshop there as well. The RVLs are in with us as well. So we have Seamus Fagan there from the Regional Vet Lab talking about the Tinio survey and what they're finding. So it's a huge focus on flock health. Lots of practical hand-on workshops and demonstrations for people to see. Then we have the whole area of organic farming. So, organic farming has grown very rapidly over the last number of years. And we have a whole village dedicated to organic farming, and all the players in the organic farming area. So the certification bodies, the Department of Agriculture, NOTS that do the courses, and our own organic specialists, team of specialists will be there to engage with people, to show them the plots that we have sown of the various different crops. We'll also have some organic sheep on display. Hill sheep production, Kieran, it'll be all through the site. So everywhere we're looking at something in terms of breeding or nutrition, or we'll have the results of our hill sheep research on that as well. We have a huge health and safety display on there, everything from agri kids to quad safety demos, tractor blind spots, Jeep and trailer legislation, or tractor and trailer, or legislation associated with pulling trailers, and everything to do with health as well. So, big village dedicated to health checks, and the HSE and CRE are involved in that. So a big emphasis on that, a big display there as well. And then we have the meat industry and markets. So all the meat, major meat plants will be there. Bore B will be there, and we'll also have some workshops there where people can talk about doing, selecting lambs for slaughter and finishing lamb options and things like that. So again, real hands-on stuff where people can engage with our advisors and our specialists and some of the meat industry people and talk to them about what the market wants and all of that type of thing. Okay, also on the agricultural education, we have a whole village dedicated to agricultural education, including the tractor simulators, the sheep lambing simulator, meet some of the agricultural education providers there. And then look at on the environment side, environment, water quality, signpost, forestry, agricultural advisory. All of those issues are also going to be dealt with. There's going to be stands there on those. And then we have a big handling facilities display, and that's tied in with some demonstrations on handling facility design by some of my colleagues in the advisory and specialist side as well.
Michael, it really is covering the whole sector. Huge amount of visual displays from your description. I've seen some of them already being put together. The latest research, a lot of practical workshops and hands-on type information. And there really is something in this for everybody. If you've a query at all about any technical aspect of the sheep sector, it should be covered in some form or other on the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Kieran, it's going to be a day where everybody will be able to pick up a few bits and pieces. Yeah.
Michael, another key element of the day, there's a big competition element to the day as well. It is right across the industry. A lot of the breed societies are competing at it as well. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so look, we've over 500 sheep coming onto the site. Some of the breeds are having their kind of All Ireland or nationals, and some of them are having kind of more localized shows. But we have 7 breed societies that are basically showing sheep, and then we have another 17 or 18 various different breed societies, maybe smaller breed societies or breeding groups that are having displays. So there's a huge area of the site dedicated to showing sheep, and showing different what different breeding groups are doing around the country. So chance there to have a look at some of the sheep showing and have a chat with some of the people that are basically breeding sheep and breeding different types of sheep.
Thank you. When we're speaking about competitions, there's also Flocks of the Future competition, I think, being announced at the event.
So our main sponsor, Irish Country Meats, have I suppose, in order to encourage young farmers into farming, part of that generation renewal that we often that challenge that we often hear about. Irish Country Meats put together this Flocks of the Future competition. So over the last month or so, people will have seen that on the various different social media channels and in the Farmers Journal and on various different media outlets. And there will have been quite a number of young prospective shepherds that will have applied for that particular competition. And the winners of that competition, there's a prize fund there of 5 Hogget ewes plus a voucher for each of the winners of that competition, and there'll be 5 winners. So 5 people will be getting 5 Hogget ewes plus a voucher for to buy at the Sheep Ireland sale. And they will be announced by the Minister for Agriculture on the day. So the sheep will be there for people to see it, and the winners will also be there. And when they're announced, then I suppose people will have the opportunity to meet them, chat with them, and see what they're after winning. So I think it's very exciting. It's a new kind of initiative that we haven't seen before, and the idea behind it is that I suppose these new young shepherds will take those sheep home. We'll put the ram with them, and there's going to be a bit of support there from the other industry partners, Sheep Ireland, Teagasc, and people like that in terms of advice and then I suppose we're hoping that we can follow them maybe next year when the lambs are born, see how they're getting on, and feature them maybe in the Farmers Journal or a few places like that. So yeah, very interesting.
Yep,
it'll be very exciting for the 5 people that are going to win those prizes. It's a serious prize.
This is a great prize, like a great start for anyone starting in the industry. Look, that's a huge amount of what's going on. Margaret, I'm going to bring you in at this point. Like, there's a commercial trade stand element that Michael mentioned. What kind of trade stands are we going to see at the event?
Thanks, Kieran. Yes, we've a diverse number of trade stands this year, and we've over 50 trade stands, and they're right across the industry, from animal health, sheep handling, insurance, some of the solar or energy consultants, sheep tagging, and quad sales and seeds. So it's right across the industry. We've a good display from everybody.
So plenty to see if anyone's thinking of investing. There's a lot of different sectors covered in that.
Absolutely.
In terms of other things we're going to see at it, what are some of the other key features?
Well, so some of the more popular parts of the day, so the Board BS stand, we'll have a number of butchery demonstrations and cookery demonstrations throughout the day with TB chef Nevin Maguire.
That's actually an aspect of the industry we probably don't focus on. Like, I know from the previous ones in Gorteen, the butchery demonstration was very interesting. I think Nevin's is always hugely popular.
Absolutely, yeah. It's usually a packed house on the day.
Look, we're talking there about the education. I suppose one of the other competitions that's running is there's a challenge among the different colleges.
Yeah, this year we have the Battle of the Colleges Young Shepherds competition, where we have 7 teams from right across the country, from agricultural colleges, from Clonakilty right through to Letterkenny, and they'll compete in various tasks to be crowned champions. This year, the winners will win the coveted Dennis Pay Memorial Cup. And so the competition looks strong, and it's definitely a title that will be coveted by the college that comes home with the trophy.
I'm sure there'll be a competition between them for bragging rights, if nothing else.
Exactly.
What else can we see on the day? If we've got through a lot there, but if they have time to get around everything, there's more happening.
Yeah, there's a huge amount to be seen. I suppose another very popular area is the wool area, the wool village. And in the wool village, we'll have a full day of wool shearing demonstration with George Graham, who always proves to be popular. And also in the wool village, there will be a number of wool industry products on display. And it's a really lovely area for families to go through and browse and just watch that wool shearing or the shearing demo and see all those craft and wool products.
And so I'm actually see what happens to fleece afterwards either. So that's always been a good section within it. Look, we talked earlier about quads and different things. I suppose we can't neglect the sheepdog or the handler either. Will there be demonstrations of that on the day?
Yes, yeah, we have the sheepdog demonstration and the handling demonstration. Again, hugely popular. It's always a full crowd for this one. And again, there's lots to be seen, and we'll see the dogs in action on the day.
Look, Michael mentioned earlier, this is a family day, and I suppose at a certain point, they're going to have to occupy the little people. So for children that are coming to the event, is there anything for them at it?
Yeah, there's a huge kids area with a bouncy castle, water absorbing, and a number of other attractions, and that's has the benefit of free entry, so there's no charge involved. So yeah, everybody that wants to attend on the day, again, just a reminder, Sheep 25 takes place on Saturday the 21st of June at Teagasc Mellows Campus in Athenry. Gates will open at 10 a.m.
Margaret, we just grab an air code for that for anyone travelling down?
Yeah, sure, the air code there, it's H65 R718.
Perfect. Listen, thank you both very much for that. I know you're busy at the moment getting the last minute final touches put to everything. Good having you both on, and hopefully we'll see everybody on Saturday.
Thanks, Kieran.
We'll leave it there for this week's episode. Hopefully we'll see you all on Saturday the 21st in Teagasc Athenry for Sheep 2025. I have included a link in the show notes where you can get more information about the event and the different features that's going to happen at it. That's it for me. For updates on the Sheep programme, keep an eye on our Twitter page at Teagasc Sheep. I'm Kieran Lynch. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more episodes.